Notice again slowly, knee over toe, and then switching feet. Knee over toe, push forward. Knee over toe, push forward. Now speeding it up a bit. Again, knee over toe penetration, very important in getting on the inside. Step out with the right leg, grab the opponent's wrist. Right hand, and then slide out with my left foot. As I bridge, notice I try to keep that head and neck contact as I bridge my body, and you'll see why. Trap the arm, sit out, drive my head back into his leg. In this next drill, which I call understanding balance drill, both of us are pushing forward as much as we can, and then trying to work on explosiveness and redirecting his balance. If there's any secret or key factor to throwing a bigger person, as always described in judo, it's the fact of knowing how to break your opponent's balance. This is the key. To notice this next drill here, you'll see how being big and strong could have its advantages. Although he's using technique, learning how to use his weight to reposition himself in this mounted position, straddling the opponent. Then from there you can work on striking techniques or chokes. Side. Not so much trying to take him off balance onto the floor, but give him enough movement so that he has to reestablish his base quickly. Now, of course, doing all these drills may be difficult in one session. I'm trying to give you a bunch of ideas to work with. Here we worked on some headgear. What I tried to do is incorporate strikes and grappling. Notice to strike, I have to separate. But again, notice the sticking action, always in control, working the strikes, and then going on here. But what we're doing is concentrating on the one technique, the ducking technique. You can see there how it almost got me in a headlock. But even just the wrestler's duck itself, if there's not 100% commitment in the lock, you can slide out of it and then continue working with other techniques, as I did there as well. Various techniques. Notice the tackle here. Now this is what I showed you in the beginning. Notice the turnaround now. See the sprawling back going on. Now, see there was a little gap created there by separating himself. That left him vulnerable now for a choking technique. I call this a post and shoot drill. Post and shoot. Many of you heard the different sports, shoot fighting, shoot wrestling, shoot boxing. That's all incorporating some type of takedown or penetrating motion. So what I'm doing here is post and reshoot drill. And you can take it to different degrees. What I'm doing here now is just posting and shooting without taking down. You can take it to the next level, post and shoot, working into a takedown there. To the opposite side. So basically we're going from right side to left side. Notice how I adjust the foot on each direction. Now we're adding a bridge to it. So we're moving from right, left, and bridge. Left, bridge, right. Now we move to the stomach. All these have fighting implications to them. Here we're looking at a side headlock position to a bridge to the stomach. Now ideally one of the best ways to practice this is to have your partner call out left side, right side, bridge, stomach, and move according to his directions. As you do this for several minutes, you'll see the tremendous benefit in stamina and also body positioning and mobility on the ground.
Talk a little bit about repetitive drilling or static repetition and how important that's been, at least in my development as a martial artist. I know there's a lot of kind of downplaying about repetition, but things come and go, and there's a purpose and a need for all these different aspects of training. Now, when I transitioned into judo and jiu-jitsu, I had a karate school, but I basically started from scratch. So I had to figure out a way to accelerate my training. And based on my karate training, which did a lot of repetition, I thought that might be the fastest way to do it when I was doing judo. So I was practicing privates once a week with Oishi sensei in Manhattan. And what I did was create drills that encompassed what I thought were an important repertoire of foot sweeps, takedowns, and throws. And then I combined those into a set that had 15 techniques, essentially 4 or 5 of each. And I would do that every day, sometimes into the hundreds. Now on the weekends, I could probably see myself doing anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 repetitions. Because if you take those 15 and do, let's say, 100 each, and you do several sets of those, you can see where I'm going with that. Now, what do you think the purpose of that was? Well, after a few months, my judo instructor said I should take group classes and ultimately test. Now, what you see here is actually live fight footage of my white belt test. I think it was about 6 to 8 months in of my judo training. And the way they did it was everybody lined up, and from white belts to advanced belts, and you had to fight the guy next to you. And if you kept winning, you went down. On that day, I think I did about 11 or 12 ippons. So I went deep into the colored belts. So literally in less than 8 months or so, I obtained my brown belt in judo. That's the way we did it back then. You fought, and if you beat belts at whatever belts you beat, you were pretty close to that caliber, as long as you had some of the technical knowledge of the curriculum, which I did because I was very studious in that manner. Now, the next thing, unfortunately, was my instructor ordered me to enter tournaments. And we're talking about 30 years ago. Brown and black belts competed together. So with less than 12 months, I'm competing against brown and black belts. Some of these guys had several years, if not even a couple of decades of training. Now, in these scenes that you have here, I'm actually throwing and even tapping brown and black belts. Now, some were worse than others, I admit, but you have to admit that within 12 months to be able to enter into a brown and black belt division in a completely different combat sport and do well, I think is a testament to how I structured my training routines, and actually has been the results that I've been helping with for people throughout the world with my home study course. If you're on a serious journey to continue improving your martial arts skill, I call it a journey in self-improvement. I really hope you take into consideration ordering my home study course. Now, if you look at the way the material is structured, I cover all the ranges of combat in a very systematic fashion, including the physical attributes. So not only do you have the striking arsenal, but you have the abs, weight training, flexibility, endurance. All that are also techniques to help enhance your striking and grappling skills. So go to fightingsecrets.com, check out the material. And if you have any questions at all, I'm available by email, fightingsecretsonline@gmail.com.